This gang of robbers snatched 90 tons of gold bars from the National Bank. To make them easier to carry, they melted the gold bars and poured them into water. Then they scooped them out of the water and they became uniformly shaped gold beans. By this time, they had melted over a ton of gold bars and everything was proceeding in an orderly manner. But the good times didn't last long. The professor who was directing the operation from outside was spotted by the police drone. They fled all the way but couldn't shake off the pursuit. In a desperate move, they drove into a forest and started walking on foot. He asked Murillo to climb up the tree to hide for a while, and he himself would go to draw the police's attention. But Murillo couldn't climb trees. She had no choice but to run into a wooden house and wait. By this time, the professor knew that they couldn't delay any longer. He told his team to start carrying out the Alcatraz plan. Captain Rene knew that something was seriously wrong because this was the highest emergency plan. Then they removed the GPS and the listening device from Rio's body. It turned out that the few people had long suspected that the police could let him come back so easily. Helsinki put the listener in the container and then pretended to dig a hole with a machine, acting as if he wanted to escape. The police were thrown into chaos. The colonel immediately ordered his men to track the locator. Meanwhile, the robbers put the locator on the new member, Sophia, and then pushed her into the pipe. When the colonel saw the target constantly moving underground, he immediately dispatched all the police forces to pursue and intercept it. The professor temporarily defused the crisis. When the fully armed special police found the locator, they were all stunned. The colonel, upon learning that he had been tricked, flew into a rage and immediately decided to force them to submit by other means. They brought Nairobi's son to the scene. Nairobi stood by the window, her emotions remaining unsettled for a long time. The sniper seized the opportunity to shoot her. However, while they were frantically trying to save people, the police launched another fierce attack, and the situation of the gang of robbers was extremely critical. Meanwhile, the professor ran into trouble again. It turned out that the police had issued a 10 million yuan reward for them. However, Murillo was spotted by a resident here, who offered them 15 million yuan. After much hesitation, the old woman immediately went out to find a policeman. The police officer asked about Professor Murillo's whereabouts, but Murillo refused to say. Unexpectedly, the police officer immediately fired a shot. Hearing the gunshot, the professor broke down on the spot. He had no idea that this was all part of the police's strategy. At this moment, Captain Rene called. He said that the bank was about to be breached. The professor only said one sentence to him.
We're taking down the system. This is a war.
Upon hearing the professor's words, the team leader immediately understood his meaning. He turned around and gathered the other members. All of them immediately entered combat mode. Enraged, Tokyo directly launched a bomb and destroyed the bank.